Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some Wuthering Heights books. So for Christmas, I received a delightful gift of 2 more editions of Wuthering Heights from Elle. So thank you so much, Elle. And I made a joke that she's like fully supplying my Wuthering Heights editions habit because she has gifted me with a few, and then also some of them I have like paid her back for, but like whenever she's out at a bookstore, she's on the lookout, and if she finds one, she'll send me a picture like, do you want this? And so then I'll, pay her back. So not all of them are gifts from her, but most of them are in some fashion coming from her. And I realized that now I have 10 editions of Wuthering Heights, and I have another one on the way, actually, right now. So it's definitely, I don't want to say it's a problem, because it's not a problem. It's how I'm choosing to spend my money. But yeah, Wuthering Heights is one of my favorite classics. Pride and Prejudice is the other one. I currently only have 2 editions of Pride and Prejudice, but I've got my eye on a few other ones. So yeah, and there's a couple other classics that I think I'm gonna love that I haven't read yet. If I do love those, I'll probably start collecting a couple of those as well. Great Gatsby, that's definitely one. I see a lot of these classics series from publishers that also have The Great Gatsby. I do love The Great Gatsby, so there's a few editions of that I have my eye on also. But today we're gonna talk about my Wuthering Heights editions. So I went through each one, figured out the publisher, if it's UK, US, etc., the rough price range based on what I could see online, and whether or not it's like common or a little more rare. The first one is one of the copies that Elle got me for this Christmas, and that is this Chiltern Publishing. Just fucking gorgeous. Like, look at these foil. I just can't. And the pages, I don't even know how to describe. I don't think you can see. They're like shiny. It doesn't feel like paper. I don't know how to describe it. It feels like paper, like what is it? It feels like, those like reusable notebooks where you can just like wipe it off? It feels like that. It's so cool. I love it. And yeah, I've seen these in stores and bookstores, and I just think they're so freaking gorgeous. And this is a UK publisher. I would say these are pretty common because, like I said, I've seen these in stores. I think it's a newer series, if I remember correctly. You can get them in stores or online for $15 to $20 each for new copies, at least from what I saw. And I believe, I also tried to determine how many were in each series, and it looks like there's 16 total in this series. And they do have The Great Gatsby and Pride and Prejudice, which I want, and they also have The Little Prince, and I will put a picture up here because, oh my god, it's so pretty and I want it so bad. Next up is this Michael O'Mara Classics edition, which is also just so pretty. Look at the back. The inside here is also just super beautiful. Some of them have illustrations. This one does not have any illustrations or anything. But yeah, Michael O'Mara Books Limited. This is UK as well. I think I don't think they're super, super rare necessarily, but online I did not see a lot of places where you could buy them. It looks like there's 4 total. Plus there is a Jane Eyre Luxury Edition and a Wuthering Heights Luxury Edition that have slightly different covers. So it's a smaller series, it's a smaller collection. And yeah, like I said, there were like $10 from what I could see online. There just weren't a lot of places you could get them. I think it was eBay was the only place I could see. But obviously Elle found one somewhere out in the wild, so it's not like they're super, super rare. Oh yeah, this was the other one that she gave me for Christmas this year. And then this Scholastics Classic Hardback Edition, which I think is just so pretty. This illustration on the cover here, this artwork. This one I could not remember. I'm so sorry, Elle. She either picked it up for me and I paid her back, or this was another gift. I can't remember. I'm the worst. But this one has, really cool on the inside cover here, her signature, and then that artwork, larger. I don't think it has any other artwork. So this is a US edition, but it appears to actually be pretty rare because I think it's like with Scholastic, it says on the inside for like the publisher information. It says that it is available for distribution only through the direct-to-home market. So I feel like this is one that you could only have bought originally from like the little Scholastic catalogs. You know what I mean? Those things that we all probably loved when we were younger. I know I did. Because yeah, when I went online and looked for this, could not find a copy to purchase anywhere except one that was on eBay. And it was like $10 or so. It's like this cloth, like hardcover, you know what I'm talking about? I really like it. And then we have the Paper Mill Classics edition, which is this like soft kind of, I don't even know, it's like a soft hardcover type one. I know Barnes & Noble has these as well, and I have Pride and Prejudice in an edition kind of like that. And like the Word Cloud publishing ones, those are kind of similar as far as like having this like floppy. So yeah, it's real cool green color on the inside. Got a little quote on the back. The spine is really pretty. It's like this green foil, super pretty. It looks very similar to the Barnes & Noble like hardcovers or leather-bound ones. I think these are fairly common, fairly certain I've seen it out in the wild a few times. You can get them from like $4 to $15 online. This was another one that I cannot remember if Elle gifted it to me or just picked it up for me one time. There are about 20 total in this collection. I do want to get The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice. I still need to read Sense and Sensibility and Dracula, but when I read those, if I like them, those will probably be some that I pick up too because they have really pretty ones. Sense and Sensibility, almost always in these collections, is like this really pretty, girly, like pink and stuff, and I love that. So this next one, I no longer have the dust jacket. I didn't really love the dust jacket. I didn't think it was like all that cool, and this naked cover is just so fucking pretty. And that is this, and it's Harper design. It's an imprint of HarperCollins. Yeah, it's got this beautiful silver foil everywhere. And right here, some beautiful artwork. And there's also artwork throughout, which is just so pretty. And each chapter starts like this. This one is just stupid gorgeous. Like here's another chapter start, some more artwork. So this one seemed to be pretty rare actually. And I want to say, God, I can't remember where I got this one. I feel like this was one that Elle might have picked up for me as well. I'm telling you, she supplied like more than half of these. But online, I could only find copies for like $40 from eBay and other websites like that where like individual people are selling like collector's editions. So I'd say it's pretty rare. It's a US edition. Oh, and it has this family tree also. I will never like read this one, but man, I would love to because it's just so pretty. I couldn't find any information on like this collection or anything, so that's why I feel like it must be kind of rare now. I've shown this one a couple of times as well, but it's just one of my favorites, this Penguin Classics Graphics Deluxe. This one's pretty common. It's a US edition. I have seen it many times in stores. I have Pride and Prejudice in this as well. Like, it's just so cool. And it has deckled edges, which I like. And then it also has like this, so it seems like a dust jacket, but it's not. It's just really, really cool. I love it. I love the mood of it and everything. There's about 20 or so books in this collection. They're about $15 if you buy them new. And you can get them all over the place. So this one in the US is incredibly rare. But in other places, it probably isn't. It's Fingerprint Classics. It's an Indian publishing company. And there are like 40 plus books in this like series that have these really cool like painted covers. And this one just is so awesome. And this was a gift from Nashwa. So go check out, I'll have her link down below, and Elle also. Nashwa is awesome, and yeah, she lives in Pakistan, and she sent me this, and it's not an edition that you can find in stores in the US, so for me, it's very rare. I would like to get, eventually, The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, and The Little Prince from this as well. Those copies were pretty cool, and you can get them online, and they're pretty cheap. They're around like $5, I want to say. Yeah, this is like such a mood of Wuthering Heights, this cover. And then this Peebles Classic Library. This is so cool to me. Like, it just looks like this old school, and it's leather bound. And like the font, it just looks so, I don't know, classic, right? Like antique. There are some drawings inside. I want to say this was a gift from Elle. Lord knows I have a terrible memory and I cannot remember. This is US edition. It's actually pretty rare and collectible from what I can tell. Online, again, the only place you can buy it is from like eBay or other individual seller sites. There's about 16, I think. Yeah, there's 16 total in this series, and they all look the exact same. They're all classics. And on like the eBay sites and stuff, I think they were around like $15 you could get these. And then Race Point Publishing Knickerbocker Classics. This is like a cloth bound one. It has this little guy. I mean, this is just so freaking pretty to me. And this one was a gift from my bestie Nessa. It has like some extra stuff. It has like the life and times of Emily Bronte. This is US edition. It seemed like it was a little rare. I couldn't really find a lot of places online that you could buy it other than like directly from the publisher. And they have like 30 to 40 editions, and they're all so beautiful. You can get them from the publisher for about $15. And then this Arctura, right? I always say it wrong. Arcturus Classics. This is a UK publisher. There's about 30 or so books in this series. I have The Picture of Dorian Gray, actually, is one of these. Pretty common. I see them pretty regularly in bookstores here in the US. You can get them for like $5 to $10. And yeah, I bought this one myself. This is like one of the only ones that I purchased, like picked up and purchased myself. And this is the one that when I recently I reread it, and I reread it on ebook because I was out of the country and I didn't feel like bringing yet another book with me. But when I do rereads in the future, this is the one that I will reread from because it's so common. You know, I could pick this up almost anywhere if I wanted like a replacement copy. But it's really pretty still. I really like that cover. But yeah, nothing fancy about the inside. It's just pretty standard book. There we go. Those are the 10 copies of Wuthering Heights that I currently have. And in my search, I found a couple that I wanted to get, and the one that I said that I bought and is on the way is this Collins Classics. Yes, Collins Classics hardcover. It has this like beautiful watercolor cover, and I just fell in love with it, and it seemed pretty rare. I could only find it on 2 websites, Amazon UK, I want to say, or was it just regular Amazon? Regular US Amazon. And it was like $36 there. There was one copy. And then I found it on this other website, I think Abe Books. Yeah, I found it on Abe Books. There was one copy again, but that one was only like $7.50. So I snatched that thing right up because it's so pretty. Love it so much. Some other editions that I want to get are the Puffin Classics. I think those are really cute. I want to get that. Arcturus Children's Classics. They have a few like Secret Garden and stuff. Those are really cute. For Wuthering Heights though, I also want the wow. Game of Thrones on the brain all the time. The Thomas Nelson Seasons editions. I don't want all 4. The winter editions are out already. Those came out, I want to say in October or November of 2019. So very recently. You can get them for like 20 or 30 bucks though. They're pretty expensive. And I would only want the Pride and Prejudice and the Wuthering Heights. Can't remember what the other 2 were. And then the summer editions are coming out, I want to say in May. And in 2020, and they will have Alice in Wonderland, which I would pick up, and then Jane Eyre, which I might pick up. I need to reread Jane Eyre though, because I only read the abridged audiobook and it was terrible. This Easton Press edition I kept seeing on like eBay and stuff. It's like $40, but holy God, it's so pretty. Oh my God, it's like this leather bound, amazing. Penguin cloth bounds. Those are really cool. I would like to get that. Like I said, the Barnes & Noble leather-bound classics. I mean, I can pick those up whenever. I just haven't yet. There is this Random House 1943 vintage edition of Wuthering Heights that, oh my God, I love it so much, but it's like $20 to $40, and obviously it's kind of rare. Collins Classics paperbacks, also really like those. And then the Random House Vintage Classics. Really like that as well. So that'll be like another 10 or so to add to this whenever I get those. That is all. Let me know down below if there are any books that you collect different editions of, if it's classics or maybe more modern books. I know like Elle has different language editions of books that she really likes, even if she can't read the language, just because the covers are cool and everything. And I kind of, like with the Hunger Games, I have a couple editions of that, and I do want more of that, including Spanish, because the covers are beautiful, and also I want to try to read it in Spanish once I up my Spanish skills, though. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.